All right, so this is going to be a quick video recording of how you can easily copy or start developing your PowerPoint and determining which team members are going to work on which section of the PowerPoint. So I'm going to create a new one. If you want to, you can let's just select a template if we want to. Okay. I'm going to go to the View tab and I'm going to select the outline view. Okay. So of course I'm going to put um, from here, what's the title of my presentation? Hospitality Leadership Profile Analysis Project. Copy, paste that into PowerPoint. When we hit enter, it enters a new slide. You hit the tab button and that's going to go over into smaller. So you might put the name of the professional. Okay. Now again, this is where you have to go back and edit, but this is just, you hit enter. Right now, I'm still in the tab section, so I'm going to hold down the shift button and hit tab and it'll go back one level. Okay. And then I come back down here to step number 3. You guys are looking so enthusiastic right now. I wish you guys could see your faces. All right, so then this section, we're not going to put the 2 minutes, obviously, but the leader and their vision, that's going to be slide 2. The next section is going to be leadership and management style. Oops. Motivation and team dynamics. And communication. And then conclusion. Okay. Under each one of these, it's the question to answer in a separate slide. So we have based on the interview, you might put this question right here, hit enter, and that's my new slide. Okay. Question to answer on a separate slide. How effective is their management? You're going to probably put your specific challenges that you actually ask them about. So don't put in necessarily just the parentheses. You're going to probably put in the exact ones. Okay. And then motivation and dynamics. This is my separate slide. Communication. Is there one to ask on a separate slide? There is not. So maybe on your conclusion, you're going to put your group picture on your final slide. And now we go back to view and we do normal. And all of our information is on here without having to type it all over again. Just copy and paste. Okay. Work smarter, not harder. And then you can, of course, go back to the home tab and you can change the layout of the slides if you need to. Okay. However you want to do that. If you're using the Microsoft 365, sorry, Microsoft 365, there is also typically a design tab, not this one specifically, but there's a design tab that will pop up and it'll actually, so let me show that one more. I think I can do it on the web. Let me just double check real quick. Let me do save as um, desktop. Okay. And so now when I go into my email, if I'm using the web version of PowerPoint, let's see if this works. PowerPoint. I am going to upload a file. Right here we have the designer tab. Is that the one? Yeah. So the designer tab automatically gives you recommendations of different types of ways you can present this slide. And they usually are going to be things that are already aligned with um, the way that you have the different designs you have already selected. So you want to make sure that as you're doing that, as you're selecting these items, that you can scroll down, see more ideas. Just make sure that they all make sense together, that they're not mismatched. Okay. How many of you were before the last 10 minutes ago were familiar with this designer tab? You were familiar? Okay, how many of you were not familiar with it? You see how easy it is to make, how quick it is to make these types of slides? If you've ever seen slides before like this and you're like, wow, that person took a long time to make those slides. They probably use some kind of designer tab in order to do that. Okay. Obviously, this is not a good one because you can't really read that, but maybe we'll do this one. Okay. So utilize this as a great tool to help you. And then also don't forget, just kidding, that's my other class project. I'm not going to talk about that. All right, that's all I have. I'll post this video.